So now that we have the centerpiece here, because as you see, this is used at the bottom here as well, let's go ahead and finish the structuring of this main screen here onto actually getting the data, in this case books, and do all sort of things that we need to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish the structure here. So first, let's go ahead and add this reading list, right? And then the structure at the bottom there, which is going to be a list of books as well. All right, let's close this down. So we're still, before we move forward, let's move things around here because some of these are not needed in the home. So I'm going to cut this and go to our component. In fact, I can just be smarter about this by just say Command E or Control E for Windows and look for components. Looks like it's right there. And I'm just going to add that here as well, which means now back in our, we need to call that. Okay, let's go ahead and import that. Okay, and we can also get rid of our list card, not get rid of it, but rather move it somewhere else. In this case, move it here. Okay, looks like we need to do some importing here. And okay, everything should be good. Back, we need to also import that list card. Okay, very good. So let's go ahead and run just to make sure that everything is still working perfectly. Okay, so everything's still good. That's good. All right, let's go ahead and add this structure here, reading list. So as you know, it's going to be really easy. First of all, we have to figure out where we're going to add that. And also let's move this guy here. I don't think it needs to be here. Let's go back and add it there. Let's get rid of some imports here that are no longer needed since we added that class there. Okay. All right, that's very good. Very good. So we have this reading right now area. So what we're going to do actually, we're going to call this reading right now inside here. And then after our row, I'm going to call here reading right now. Let's say list of, okay, and just pass nav controller because we're going to change a few things later anyway. So let's go ahead and rerun this to make sure we can still see what we need to see. Okay, that's good. So we just restructured a few things because we want to separate everything. That way we can add more things inside of our reading right now. So far we're just going to pass this list card so we can see things working. All right, so let's go to where this is being called there. What we do next is I'm going to pass the title section again, and the label this time is going to be reading list. So what I'm doing, I'm reusing that composable which we used earlier, and now I'm going to pass it down here to have this reading list like this. All right. And then here, I'm going to put another, and then here is where I'm going to put this other section here, which is going to contain this. So I'm going to say book list area. In this case, I'm going to say list of books. I'm going to say empty list for now. It's going to be an empty list of M books because these are the types that we need. And they're going to pass a view model, which we'll see later. So view model. All right, and then let's pass a nav controller here as well. All right, let's go ahead and create this composable at the bottom here. Okay, so there we have it. So what is going to happen here? So we're going to have, of course, a list of books showing there. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to actually call a horizontal scrollable component that we will create in a second here. So for this, I'm just going to pass books, right? Just a list of books as such. And that's it for now. Let's go ahead and actually create this other composable as well there. All right. So here is, let's say component. Let me go ahead and refactor this component. So what am I going to do here? Well, first of all, I'm going to create a scrollable view. So I'm going to say val scrollable or scroll state like such. And I'm going to say remember scroll state like this. Okay. And then I'm going to say row, because all of this is going to be inside of a row. Okay. Let's add a modifier, fill max width, and then I'm going to give it a height of about 280.dp. So I'm creating this structure here where we're going to have a scrollable view. Okay. Once I have that, let's see what else. Right. Because it's a row, I want to make sure that also I pass the horizontal scroll state, which I'm going to pass the scroll state as such. Well, for now, what I'm going to do, we're going to do a lot of other things later, but for now, I'm just going to create a for here. I'm going to say book in books, I think list of books, that's what we called it. And I'm going to just go ahead and create that list card and pass that book like this, right? And for each one of these cards, remember this card has, if you have over, we have that on press detail. So we want to make sure that when that is clicked, we do something, right? So I can say on card press. In fact, I can add this right here. On card pressed, it's going to be expecting a string of some type later, and it's going to just be, say, unit like this. All right, so now I'm going to delegate that event. So on card pressed, I'm going to pass that IT like that. Okay, and we'll get there later. This is not the end. We will have more to do later. Okay, so this on card now in our horizontal. So now in our book list area, I added this horizontal scrollable component. Here, of course, I can go ahead later do something, say to do on click, on card clicked, go to details, okay, or navigate. Okay, so just for testing, let's go ahead and see where this is being called, right about here. Just remove that, I guess. What I'm going to do at the top here in our home content, let's go ahead and say something like this. Var list of books, it's going to be a list of books. And I'm going to be is equal to, say, is equal to list of, I'm going to pass a few books here. So, first one, I'm going to say M book. Let's give an ID, some gibberish, and title, hello again, authors, all of us, and notes, even though we don't need anything, just put null like this, okay? Let's copy, add a few. So the ID doesn't matter. This is going to be again, it's going to be hello, and that's fine. So now we have a list of books, and then we can pass this list of books here instead of an empty list. Just pass that list of books, and that is indeed what's going to be received in our book list of books, and then we're going to go past that into our horizontal scrollable view component, which is going to go and loop through and create that card. Okay, a lot of moving parts, but essentially what we're doing here is that we added, or let's make sure I open this. Essentially what we're going to do here is that we are adding this structure at the bottom here, and we just want to see a list of books, even though they're the same books. We want to see them showing here. All right, let's go ahead and run this real quick and see. Hopefully it works. And there you have it. So now you have a few books that are showing at the bottom there. Oh, this is so great. All right, just like that, we have something, in fact, that looks exactly like what we have here, and we have that functionality. The beauty now is that since we have this all set up, it will be way easier then, because all we need to do now is look for data, and the data will come later, but at least we have the infrastructure set up so that once we are able to search for books and add the books in the database and retrieve them, then they can just, all we have to do, of course, is to get that information, the data of our books, and populate, passing it through, just like we did passing through this list of books in our code, and then we're done. And then we should see reflected here. And if I click, nothing will happen, but at least we'll know that we're clicking the right book. Now, let's see. We want to make sure that when that book is clicked, we pass that item of whatever that book has been clicked. What is that I want to pass here? This IT is going to be the string of the book. Let's see, what is it? Let's go ahead and where this is called right here. Let's see if we can say log D like this and pass the IT. In this case, let's run this real quick. Okay, let's click this book a couple times. Let's load to logcat. Let's run again. Looks like something is not right here. Okay, there we go. Let's click. It says hello again, so it's getting the title of the book that we're clicking. So I was clicking on my phone there. Let's say this book title. Click. It says book title, but we didn't change something. Let's go back to our card. That's why it's not reflecting the actual titles of the book. So if we go back to our card, list card, right here, of course, we're going to just pass the book object. There we go. So book dot title like that. And for authors, we need to make this nullable and wrap that, just say to string, that's fine. And for our authors, say book authors to string, and we should be good now. We're going to actually reflect the objects that we're passing, all the books that we're passing. You can see the change now in our books. So now we got all this hello, everything is great. If you click any of these, you can see logcat. We're going to get the correct reflection here. Let's show you, just look at the bottom here. About hello again, about this one, it's not doing anything because we didn't wrap it with the new component. It's okay, but there we go. It's indeed working.